Sagittarius, hi. So this is going to be a reading for July 1st through the 7th, and I'll take a look into your recent past, your current energies, and your immediate future. And then I'll close it off with a couple of cards from the universe for you. And these are general readings, so they may not resonate for all of you. If they do, there is an extended. At the end of the video, you can check out the link for that in the description box below if you want. Let's see, Saggy. What do we got for you? Alright, the overall energy for the reading, the 9 of Swords. So we got a little bit of stress for you here. You're concerned about something. I don't know what it is yet, but we'll check it out in a minute. In the recent past, the 4 of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles, the Empress. Man, you're hanging tight to this energy. I don't know who this is to you, but you're kind of like, I'm never going to let them go. Okay. Pretty important figure here. Alright, we'll just leave it at that for now. In the current situation, the Knight of Pentacles, the Lovers, the Hierophant. There seems to be quite the progress here to a situation that's very significant to you. There's quite the connection here you have with someone. And it feels like it's growing, There's a steady pace to it, quite slow. Maybe that's what you're concerned about, but for the most part, it feels like it's good. In the immediate future, the 4 of Wands, the 3 of Swords, the Wheel of Fortune. Something's showing up here. Something's showing up that it's showing up quite painful, but it does look like things are changing for the better with that, you know? So I'm not sure if that's being created as you go, or if it's something you're bringing along with you that's just gonna pop in, you know, this energy of pain. I don't know where it's coming from, but I do see it changing for the better. So okay, let's clarify. Let me do the 9 of Swords. The 7 of Pentacles, the 10 of Wands, the Strength card. This looks a little bit like burnout. This looks a little bit like, because you're putting effort into something, you're working on something, and then you're showing me how tiresome it got and how hard it is to keep on keeping on here, basically. So it looks a little bit like maybe you would need a break somewhere, somehow, whatever this is, or a break. I don't know yet, but okay. Let's do the 4 of Pentacles. In the recent past, the 10 of Swords, the 3 of Pentacles, the Page of Wands. Okay. Because on one hand, you're showing me here, whatever kind of partnership this is, that it's one that you can't let go of, but at the same time, you feel like you're losing it. So it's like, wait a minute. There's 2 energies here bumping heads. One says this is gonna be done, and one says it can't be done. And both of those energies are yours. Let's do the Queen of Pentacles, the Ace of Wands, the 5 of Wands, the 9 of Swords. So something did happen here. That's the 9 of Swords. Something did happen. Someone did something or said something quite impulsive, quite, whatever this was that was said or done, it's coming from a pretty good place. But the way it's being put out there, it's creating quite the conflict. So even if something is well intended, it doesn't mean that the way we put it out there is a good way to put it out there. You know, if we're frustrated or very passionate about it, or it could be interpreted as, whoa, you know, I don't need this. you know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know who did what, and even though they were well intended, they kind of created a mess. And I kind of see it as being you, but it could be whoever you're dealing with here. It doesn't have to be you. So, okay. Let's do the Empress. Five of Swords, the Ace of Pentacles, the Four of Cups. This didn't, you know, the minute this took place, this conflict here, it should have been addressed immediately, because it wasn't. It was skipped. It was like, oh, something happened. It's not feeling great. Oh, okay, let's move on. Let's proceed as if nothing happened. Quite the deceptive energy, because I feel like you did. You and them, the both of you, kind of, let's not look at that. Let's just go on. And one of you, if not the both of you, were still upset about the conflict. So you took the energy with you, even though you pretended it didn't exist. It did. It did. It's very obvious that it did, because otherwise you wouldn't be upset. You know, you would be like, oh, okay, it didn't exist. Poof. It's out of my mind, out of my sight, out of my everything, because it didn't exist, right? But if you say it didn't exist and then you continue to be upset about it, then you took it with you. Let's do the Knight of Pentacles in the current situation. The Ace of Swords, the Eight of Cups, the King of Cups. And then once that happens, all of the other actions and anything that shows up after that is built upon that. A place of lies, basically. Yeah, we're going to pretend this doesn't exist, but it does, because I'm upset about it. But I'm going to show that I'm not upset about it, and, you know, to not upset them, and we shall proceed. Because that's a healthy way to proceed through something. So, of course you're stressed out about something. Here. Because the more you build on that energy, like, it feels like at some point you're not even going to be up for doing anything about this, you know, because it's kind of draining. It almost feels like you're moving ahead, but you're not moving at all, kind of a deal. And it's like, no matter how much you want to invest in this as you proceed, it's almost like, no, everything stopped at that point in time, that we forgot to address something here. Let me do the Lovers, the Hangman, the Queen of Cups, the High Priestess. There's a pause. There's a big ass pause here, energetically speaking, where it feels like it's progressing, but is it? You know, was that energy resolved? Was that energy looked into, addressed? No. That's why there's a pause here. It's almost like things can't proceed until you remove this blockage from the way of where you need to go with this one. You know? Because down the line, from what I'm seeing here, one is super connected to their heart, to the path for this moving forward, while the other one wants to be there, but because they're carrying that energy of, I know what happened that one time, they can't show up 100% in this. That energy doesn't allow them to. You know? For the Hierophant, you get the Five of Cups, the Death card, the Two of Cups. Again, the desire to kind of leave the past in the past, which, yes, I agree with that. With that statement of leaving the past in the past. But as long as whatever happened in the past damaged something for the situation, it still needs some healing. You know, you can't just leave it there, the damage created, and nobody looked into it and nobody healed that, because it's going to affect the future of the situation. Some things, most things that are damaging to a situation, you can't just pretend they didn't happen, because they did. And as much as you may want to think that you can do that, you don't know how the other person feels, even if they say, oh yeah, no worries. Forgotten about, well, what happened? No, nothing happened here. How do you know? They're not hanging on to that energy just because they said so? Okay, cool. And ultimately, I think none of you are able to move forward pretending that nothing happened if something damaging happened. Let's do the Four of Wands in the immediate future, the Two of Swords, the Eight of Wands, the Queen of Wands. And everything gets so blurry and so confusing along the way as you keep on trying to proceed. Because again, I don't see anybody addressing that. I keep on seeing some energies coming in from time to time saying, the past is the past, we're not going to look into that, let's start from scratch. Great. But every time you start from scratch, you get to the same place. You're not advancing, you're not going anywhere here. You know, so it gets more and more confusing almost as you try to proceed, or as you think you're proceeding, because at this point you think this situation is evolving and growing. But truly, it's at a break, it's at a stop. You know? It's not really progressing, it's not really going anywhere. So I can see the confusion getting bigger and bigger here, if anything, of why is it not moving? You know, the realization of this ain't going anywhere, so why not? For the Three of Swords in the immediate future, you get the Seven of Cups, the Empress, the Tower. One of you, and I kind of get the sense that it's them, but it could be you. But one of you is kind of reaching a very big aha moment. It's a very painful one. It could be the realization of we haven't moved forward for who knows how long, and the damage that's been created caused a lot of pain for me, and now I'm stepping into this pain. So quite the big aha moment surrounding the damage that's been done and quite avoided throughout. Let's do the Wheel of Fortune. It's gonna catch up with you, you know, at some point. You or them or whoever's involved in something that dealt with this type of a situation. Eventually it will. For the Wheel of Fortune, you get the Ten of Cups, the Seven of Wands, the Four of Wands. There might be some changes to the situation as realizations come in, as this energy catches up with you of the damage in the past there. Not only with you, but with them too, with the both of you. There might be some shifts, some changes that this dynamic is going to go through. You're not going to like those changes. They're not going to like those changes. Nobody's going to like those changes by the looks of it. But, you know, in order for this to step onto a healing path over whatever the hell happened there will be some changes here, some shifts. So I see quite the resistance on your part to address that, on your part especially. Even though it could be them, but I kind of get the sense that it's you, to acknowledge that there's been some damage done there. You know, you're probably so attached to this idea of we'll just start from scratch, no issues, nothing happened here, we'll just pretend that nothing happened, that you actually started believing that nothing happened, truly. But, and I don't know how big or how small the damage was, but there was some damage at some point. I can see it very clearly here, and I also see whoever you're dealing with being very affected by it, even though they're not showing it much. And that's when, you know, they're responsible for showing how much it affected them, but they didn't. And then you started building on that. So things are going to shift a little bit here. Realizations are going to come through at some point. That right there is going to catch up with the both of you at some point. So it's going to be handled one way or another, no matter how much it's being avoided. So let me see what the universe has as a final advice. The Emperor, the Hermit, the Temperance card. I'm glad I see this here, because I see quite the deep energies attached to you, in the sense of you know how to go deep within you and to be honest about things with yourself here, you know. So no matter how much you may try to avoid certain things, at some point in time, I still see you recognizing that, okay, I gotta be honest with myself here, you know? And when you kind of reach that place, you know how to go deep within yourself and allow yourself to fall into that honesty, you know, that you carry for any kind of situation. So you know how to do that, you just got to do it. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you forget, sometimes you get caught up in, I'll just avoid things. Okay, but why? Because you know they catch up with you eventually, so why would you avoid things? When you have the tools and the resources to go within and be honest and heal things as they come instead of doing it later, you know? When they kind of corner you and there's no way out, you gotta at that point. Because you know that's how the universe works. So, anyways, that's what I have for you. Hope this helped, and I'll see you next time. Bye.